Like the alien tried to explain like hours worth of information in one loud burst.
Well, I understand
It's like reverberating all through the room, and Albert's like getting rendered, like brought to his knees and like clinging like he's inside of a bell.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Mom Can Have Another Dollar. We're playing Cosmic Smash.
I will explain the situation as efficiently as I can. And poor Albert.
Well, I understand. Stop!
One of his teeth chips right out.
Well, I understand why you're screaming.
Oh yeah, all of his
got
fillings
no
are resonating, and it like hurts like hell. It's like getting microwaved. It's like the inside of his mouth is really, really hot. All his spit is evaporating. He's like, ah! It seems my explanation was not adequate.
All right,
Maybe you need to be louder. Like two of them do it.
Stop!
Okay, the question
I'm getting
is,
cataracts.
when do we cut in on this episode? Does anybody get an explanation of
If
why
we
we're
episode?
ever
What-
figure
what are
that
you
out,
talking
then we
about?
have not tried hard enough to play this game.
What do you mean by episode?
I mean,
He means this loud screaming period you've gone through.
that Nick is just giggling like a
Episode
motherfucker.
in the sense of an epileptic freak out.
That's what I figured.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering if you had a specific diagnosis for me, because then maybe I could begin the healing. I could begin. But apparently no such luck.
Like to treat the disease, you have to know it first.
I have to have a name, like Lorenzo's fucking oil. You know what I mean? Except instead of whatever that kid was sick with, it's just Fat Albert getting screamed at until he's dead by pantless, dickless alien interlocutors.
Wasn't it like he was getting arrested by cops or something, and like and he just noticed?
Yeah,
that
but
they
the
didn't have
cops
any-
are replicants from beyond the stars or another dimension or something.
Hey,
like that. They're
why don't none of
in-person.
y'all have any penises?
Like the Terminator.
Yeah.
You know, the Terminator T-1000 comes back, and the first guy he meets is a cop, and he turns into the cop or whatever.
Right. No,
Like
that's
that-
the
yeah, that's kind of how like these guys work. And then they find Fat Albert, and they say, that man seems adequate. We shall assimilate his information. And that's how they find out
he's
about
being
penises.
considered as possible ambassador to their home world.
And they accidentally
it's just,
kill him with
he's
information.
He's not at all capable of taking the explanation that they have to offer.
Yeah, well, in the method that they want to. They have, like, a huge amount of information in order to be up to speed on what's going on, like all the science they have and everything. But they try to shove it in his brain too fast, and it kills him. But don't worry, they're advanced. They put him on a table, and they start shocking his fucking heart until he comes back to life.
Yeah, they're able to revive him, but once he's alive again, he dearly wishes he wasn't.
It seems our method of information transference is lethal. Correct. We must revive him the only way we know how. They're just like smash cut to him on some kind of weird MC Escher kind of... No, not MC Escher. Geiger. Like a Geiger-esque little tube table. And he's just like... He's screaming, but he's not really awake yet. And he's like... There's green lightning all over him. He's naked as fuck.
I was thinking, like... Yeah, they move on, and they're trying to figure out how we communicate on our planet, like what our best method of information transference is, and they're greeted with like a book or a newspaper or something, and they look at each other and grimace. Perhaps
they read
this
the
is
book
a
in 2
lost
seconds.
cause.
Yeah. Well, then he's like, "We are grateful to you, Albert. You have taught us of penises." The penis will help us to become adequate.
How do you preserve information in your world? And he shows them a newspaper, and they just look at each other, and for 20 solid minutes, they're just going,
Well, I don't know about y'all fellas, but we like music.
And he takes them to the junkyard, and then they have a little musical session with all the friends, and then one of them dances over and hands him like a trombone or some shit, and he picks it up and just cut wide shot of the city, and it's just like a huge shockwave is coming out. It's just like ripping the flesh off of bones, and you know what I mean. It's like the loudest sound ever recorded. It's like the KT Comet or something, and it's just like
yeah.
It's like No. It cuts to like Mongolia or someplace like an hour later, and it's like 110 degrees out.
Oh, you can double jump.
A huge pillar of basalt just juts out of the side of a mountain
And
at
all-
unreasonable
yeah,
speed.
all the ice on the top of the mountains is just sublimating, It's like turning it a dense canopy of smoke. It's like, and then like as you see the sky getting choked and darkened, and a new ice age ushered in, you just amidst all the screaming and the conflagration, you hear one last haunting tone. You hear like really reverby, right?
Why don't you guys have penises?
All right, I just want to take a second and like point out just his spine section. Does that look like hot dogs on like a skewer that's just spinning to anybody else?
Is
Or
this-
just
He looks like a really complicated device for measuring the temperature.
Is this
Like one of
super hot?
those tubes that has several bottles of, I don't know, oil or whatever they're made of. They all float around freely, and at different temperatures, one starts rising.
Are you talking about a bevel level? Is that what
No.
those things are?
No, I'm talking about the thing that I just described, and not the thing that is extremely obvious as to how it works.
I don't know. I've never leveled anything in my whole life.
there's a lot of things I'm sure you haven't done in your whole life.
I think it is named after someone who was popular with science as a concept, like a Da Vinci thermometer or something like that.
I didn't know I was playing fucking.
Is
Final
that the kind of
Fantasy
thermometer
Grid
they
Sphere.
shove up your ass? Did someone who hated Da Vinci name it that? Da Vinci, that cheating prick. Well, here you go, Da Vinci. I'm naming this ass measuring device after you.
I knew I would be specifically wrong in this way. It's Galileo, a Galileo thermometer. It's a big tube of water, and it has these little baubles full of colored oils or alcohols or whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they've got little tags on them so that as they rise, you can see. Well, you, I guess, have to do some aggregating and figure it the fuck out instead of a simple readout. But I don't know. At one point in existence, that was probably the most reliable way to gauge temperature. I don't know.
It's certainly
People
more
probably
efficient than
were
having
still
a hot
shoving
dog
mercury up
skeleton.
their ass to live forever instead, so
It's certainly
they
more
probably hadn't
efficient.
thought of using it to gauge temperature.
Yeah.
I just realized this started me over, so I guess we can be done. You guys done talking about Fat Albert?
I mean, we were
Commenting on
sort of
alien
moving
dicks?
on to Galileo's bullshit and how even his invention is probably better than a rotating hot dog meat man bouncing balls with ice cubes to figure out how cold it is, which is what I assume is going on here.
That's the summation.
maybe
of-
this is a little bit more esoteric, and it's gauging the weather. It's like one of those things that tells you
Oh.
it's going to rain within the next day or so.
This is how
by-
this is how weathermen work. This is why they're wrong all the time. Let's
Yeah,
go to
like
Weatherman
those,
5, and it cuts to this shit. It's gonna be rainy tomorrow, Chuck. How do you know
A
that?
friend of mine,
Answer me.
yeah, a friend
Answer
of mine
me.
has this thing in his house that is a tube of a clear liquid, but at various points it will develop little crystals in it, and it tells you if it's large flakes, it's gonna rain within the next hour. If it's small ones, within the next couple of days or whatever. None of us are sure that it really works, but it does change sometimes, and so we could be convinced that it does something.
Well, it sounds like this tube has the same thing wrong with it as my kidneys. Anyway,
It randomly gets cloudy and full of crystals.
my meat church outburst was simply Minecraft. That's all.
Oh,
That
well,
is
now
what-
that we have that revelation, I guess we can move on.
Yep.
Kusabi,
Join us next time, guys.
motherfuckers.
Yeah!